We borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture.
Peasants. I feel like this is a solid question. I think someone should ask JD Vance. Oh look, another excellent point. You guys are on one today.
Borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture.
If you've never seen white supremacy at its finest, this is what it looks like. That's why that's the word, right? Supremacy. Supremacy. They feel better than other people. Than other people that are not of the color that they like. And they put them down. They see them as peasants, as lower than, as subhuman, as people that don't deserve the attention that they will give to a person that is of the same color and race as they are. And it's horrific because now they're displaying it and they're not even hiding it because they know that they have the upper hand because they won Congress as well. So they don't give a fuck anymore. And JD Vance is one of those people who is worse than Trump. He's worse than Trump because he's smart, he's an attorney, he's educated, so he will sell you on all this bullshit and wrap it to you in a very nice package. But racism is racism. You can't hide it. Que tenga buen día.
We borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture. That is not a recipe for economic prosperity. It's not a recipe for low prices, and it's not a recipe for good jobs in the United States of America.
Explain to us how you get manufacturing here, but also get the cost down for the American people.
Well, if you go back a little bit, Lawrence, remember during the first Trump administration, everybody said that Trump's tariffs were going to be inflationary back then. What actually happened? We had 1.5% inflation. We had the fastest growing economy in a generation, and we had the beginning of a manufacturing renaissance in the United States of America. Then, of course, we had 4 terrible years of the Biden administration. But I think it's useful for all of us to step back and ask ourselves, what has the globalist economy gotten the United States of America? And the answer is fundamentally it's based on 2 principles: incurring a huge amount of debt to buy things that other countries make for us. And to make it a little bit more crystal clear,
in his most recent attempt to appeal to MAGA voters, JD Vance has just resorted to outright racism, going on an interview where he referred to Chinese citizens on the whole as peasants, amid the rapidly escalating trade war going on between America and the rest of everything. It's especially disgusting and hypocritical from JD Vance, of all people, given that his whole brand is based on his origin story as a young man who grew up in an impoverished part of the United States in extremely unfortunate circumstances. A story of poverty that he literally sold to Netflix. This is his view of ordinary working people in other countries. Let's not pretend that this view of ordinary working people probably doesn't extend to people in the United States as well. Foul. I need to tell you why he's doing this. He's just desperately trying to scrape any kind of attention and popularity for himself after being deemed the most unlikable new vice president in history, along with still not being the successor to Donald Trump, even in Donald Trump's own words. In the aftermath of an unprecedented humiliation of his trip to Greenland, in which him and his hostage wife awkwardly stood around a military base for 3 hours insulting the Danish government and then went home. Even his own collaborator wife has come out and talked about how lonely he is as a result of him being a universally despised figure. The point where in my country of the United Kingdom, he is disliked more than Trump. He literally went from a nobody to the most disliked person on the world stage today. What's the opposite of an achievement? Everybody is, of course, outraged. China is especially outraged. And he's probably just going to keep saying stuff like this because this is the only thing he can do to get any form of attention on him that isn't just people calling him weird. Follow for more.
All right, well, breaking news. This is a video from JD Vance on the campaign trail. This video was brought to my attention by the podcast I was on. They're going to be tagged below. I'm just going to roll the clip. So what you're seeing there is a man throw up the Yahtzee sign and then JD Vance rush over to shake his hand proudly and happily. I've never seen this video. And it's JD Vance. There's his face. That is insane. This...